Coming up on SPCA Rescue.
No, I'm not going to be hounded today, okay?
Inspectors take extreme measures when a woman refuses to let them check her animals.
Come on, man, let's go. Come on.
So what is she hiding?
I'm up to about 18 now.
An inspector goes on a wild goose chase.
He's one smart goose.
And an emergency operation for a pregnant dog.
There's a real alarm.
Where hospital staff have to make a tough call.
Fire alarm's just gone off, so everybody has to evacuate the building.
Inspector Kevin Plowright is making a welfare check at a property the SPCA has been monitoring for some time.
Hello?
The woman who lives here is a hoarder. She collects and keeps a lot of things, including animals.
Yeah, they hoard animals and everything else that comes along. So I need to do a welfare check.
Previously, the woman had many cats, guinea pigs and rabbits, but Kevin believes she has added some new animals to her collection.
Unfortunately, I can hear sound of puppies from inside the house. Hello? Hi, Kevin, SPCA. We're just doing a general welfare check. You got some pups in there?
No, not pups, but my dog's in there.
Oh, OK. Do you mind if I have a quick nosy?
I'm not in the house.
The woman is not keen for Kevin to come inside to check on any of the animals.
I'd like to...
You can't come in here, OK? No. I'm not going to be hounded today, OK?
Kevin's only interest here is helping animals that may be suffering.
OK, I've already seen a cat come out with a mucky eye.
Which one's that?
Black and white kitten. It's got weeping...
She is getting treatment, you know.
OK, and that's what I need to have a look at.
If the woman won't let Kevin inside to see for himself, he may be forced to take extreme measures.
Please don't make me go off and have to get a search warrant or anything like that way. I'd rather work with you. I would like to be able to come in, have a look at everything, and if there's any problems, we'll just make sure that it's sorted.
Well, you can't come in, I'm sorry.
In the city suburb of Avondale, Field Officer Tracy Hammond is about to get a call to an unusual job.
It's Tracy.
Go ahead.
I have an emergency at Western After Hours. There is a dash hound that needs to come back to base. It's pregnant.
OK, then we're on our way.
The private vet clinic is holding the dog for the SPCA after she was surrendered by her owners who couldn't afford vet treatment.
Hey. She looks very weak, very pale. We need to get her back pretty quickly.
The dachshund's been in labour for 16 hours. She and her pups are now in danger.
The worst case scenario here could be that the pups are not alive anymore, that are retained within her, but she's definitely due an emergency cesarean, which will hopefully at least save her if we can't save the puppies.
But notes left by the vet reveal she has already given birth to one of her puppies.
Her name's Poppy, and the puppies have got stuck. She managed to get one out.
And nestled under Mum is a surprise survivor.
There you go.
It's now a race against time to get Poppy and her baby back to the SPCA hospital.
I've just picked up the miniature dash hound from Western After Hours. She's really pale and cold, so we need someone to see her pretty urgently.
At the Hoarder's property, Kevin has been refused entry to check on the welfare of animals inside the house.
Yeah, well, I've been unable to do my welfare inspection on the place. The owner's been not very cooperative at all. I've seen some of the animals there. I do have concerns. I can see eye infections and that sort of thing. The house is reeking out of urine and faeces and that sort of thing. So I'm really concerned with how the animals are being cared for in there, or rather not being cared for. So unfortunately it means I need to go and get a search warrant. There's at least another 20 or 30 cats inside the house there.
Auckland Domain is home to more than 100 wild ducks and geese. They normally live here happily, despite a constant stream of visitors.
I received a call today from a student that was walking by in the park that there was a goose that had separated from the group. It was isolated on an island and it had a very bad leg injury. It's weight-bearing on one side, so I am very concerned about that leg. I'm going to throw some food, try and entice it to see if it comes this way. doesn't seem to be responding to any food, so clearly it's either a bit distressed or it's just a bit scared of coming close to humans.
Andre comes up with plan B.
I'm going to head across this point because it seems to be the narrowest towards the island. The goose might not be happy to see me, but I am there to help.
But as he prepares to take the plunge, the wounded goose senses his approach.
Plans have changed. The goose has come off the island. It's in the water trying to get up onto the bank. I'm going to throw some food in the water to keep it there, and then I'm going to sneak up behind it and hopefully get it in my net.
But this goose is onto him.
He's one smart goose.
And it seems to have backup from the other birds of the domain.
Also, there are other mallards there quacking away, giving it warning. Just when I thought I didn't have to get in the water, it's just not my lucky day.
Kevin has now got a search warrant to enter a house where he believes there may be animals with welfare issues.
We've had to go to these lengths because of the lack of cooperation, unfortunately, so that's what I'm doing here. I need to go in and be able to inspect all the animals on the property.
He's joined by fellow Inspector Laurie Davis, 2 vet staff and police.
Hello. We're going to do a health assessment of all the animals in the house.
But tensions are high, and the police have to restrain the owner so the SPCA can inspect the animals inside the house.
Come on, man, let's go. Come on.
SPCA footage filmed inside the house reveals floor-to-ceiling junk, and hiding in the mess, unknown numbers of cats and dogs.
I wonder if we start at the beginning of the house and work our way through.
I need a torch. Has she got any power or anything? Any lights? Hey, pretty cats.
It's a big mission. The house is so full of rubbish and everything like that. It's dark. I'm going for a torch. We need to hunt through floor-to-ceiling rubbish. There's things hanging everywhere and it's so cluttered and it's vile, absolutely vile.
Police have been called in after a woman refused to allow the SPCA access to check her animals.
Ginger white, the grey and white medium.
4 SPCA staff are searching her cluttered home for animals they believe may have welfare concerns.
That black and white was all right.
Yeah, domestic short hair. There's 3 here, and the black and white is coming and going.
How many have you got up to? Because
I'm up to about 18 now. Oh, gross.
One whole room is devoted to litter boxes.
These are the most disgusting blooming litter trays in the house.
But while the SPCA has concerns about the living conditions, they also find evidence of the owner's care for her animals.
Like, it looks like every single one of them are probably microchipped. She's got a big, thick file of vaccination things. And
after an hour inspecting the animals inside the house, there is a surprising outcome.
They're all in good condition. They all, appear to be under vet treatment. And, I'm kind of glad that I didn't live inside a house like that.
Cats in cages were in clean cages, and the other cats can come and go as they please. There was only a couple of minor health issues that need addressing, but there's nothing bad enough for us to uplift the animals. Now we have to go through and do a massive
search in the backyard.
Massive search through the backyard, phase 2.
Seems pretty deep in here. The bottom also feels very slimy. I can see the goose. He's hiding underneath the trees over there.
At Auckland Domain, Field Officer Andre is throwing himself in the deep end to rescue the goose with the wounded leg.
Oh, it's pretty cold. I can feel the bottom and it's quite slimy. Oh, crap. It's gone over there now.
The scared bird doesn't seem to want help.
I'm not going to give up on this goose.
But Andre can't leave it in distress, so he continues his wild goose chase.
I've got it.
Finally, his perseverance pays off.
Oh, it looks a bit distressed, but I can't blame it. So I'm going to get this off to a bird rescue centre and get it looked at.
At the SPCA hospital, vet Peter McQueen is assessing the pregnant dog Poppy and her pup.
Hey Peter, we've got this little dachshund here that appears to have been mated with a Shih Tzu, which is a lot bigger than what she is. It appears she has some puppies stuck inside.
Yeah, she's definitely got a few more in there, hasn't she?
This little puppy seems to be okay.
Yeah, no, it seems to be feeding okay, and she's certainly not bothered at all. Like, you know, she's quite happy to be suckling it.
And so you think there's any chance of some of the puppies inside being saved?
Well, it's hard to say because it's been quite a long time.
Yeah.
The only options really is to open her up and just see what happens. You know, we can't leave her like this, so it's going to be surgical, whatever we do.
Poppy needs an emergency caesarean, but the surgery is risky.
When we picked up the dog, she was quite weak and pale. Is that going to be a risk when putting her under anaesthetic?
Obviously, it's going to be a greater risk than a normal anaesthetic, but we haven't got any choices anyway, so it's either anaesthetise her or put her to sleep.
Hopefully she'll be good. Good girl.
In West Auckland, Andre is taking the wounded goose to a bird rescue centre.
I bought you a goose.
Where did it come from?
It came from the Auckland Domain. I was stuck in the middle of an island and basically couldn't get up on land to feed or hang with the other group that I was departed from.
Lynn McDonald has been treating sick and wounded birds for more than 20 years and quickly spots this goose's problem.
It looks like it's been hit by a car.
Oh, really?
And I'd say the leg's probably not broken, but I'd say that we've got a massive infection going on in here.
The painful injury will also have been causing the goose some social problems.
It would have been separated from the group because it's too sick to keep up with them. And they are territorial. They have their own flock and they tend to stick together. But when they're sick and they can't move and keep up with the flock tend to leave them behind.
Lynn hopes the wound is treatable.
If it were to get any worse, what would happen from there?
We simply can't have a goose with one leg, so we couldn't return it if its leg doesn't heal.
At the hospital, vet Peter is performing an emergency caesarean on Poppy.
So I'm just trying to lift the uterus out with the first puppy, and the puppies feel really large. And one of the problems with dachshunds is they're pretty poorly designed when it comes to giving birth, and they're notorious for having to have caesareans.
It's a big one.
They are very big. I'm surprised that she actually managed to get one out. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
She has been in labour so long, her unborn pups have only a slim chance of survival.
It's not looking promising. Yeah, just give it a run and see how you go with that.
You have to be a bit vigorous to stimulate the breathing in the heart.
Just see how you get on with that.
Is there any more in there or not?
No, there's just two.
Cool.
Things are looking bleak for these two pups.
Just give it a couple of minutes and just rub, but it would be extremely unlikely for them to be alive.
Oh, there we go. We're alive.
Against the odds, one pup starts breathing.
Got a gasp here. Yay! Jackpot!
You've got to keep rubbing them for a while after they start breathing. Usually the mother would lick her puppies to stimulate them to breathe, and that's sort of what we're imitating here.
I think he's ready for breakfast. Oh, you're hungry, aren't you?
Like proud mums, the vet nurses care for their miracle babies.
So was yours a girl or a boy? Girl! So we're just going to put these little girls in with their brother.
You're pretty pushy right from the start.
But as Peter is stitching up Poppy, events take an unexpected turn.
There's a real alarm.
I'll stay with Peter and everyone else has to leave.
Fire alarm's just gone off, so everybody has to evacuate the building.
At the SPCA, a fire alarm has gone off and most staff have evacuated the buildings. But Peter and vet nurse Kirsty Gore won't abandon Poppy in surgery.
She just sounded a little bit googly, so we put her head lower than her chest so that if any fluid is going to come out, it can come out quite easily.
We just got to be a wee bit careful. The one thing we don't want it to do is to vomit under anaesthetic and then inhale that back down.
That seems to have sorted itself out now.
All clear, thank you very much. If you can all go back to your own positions, thank you.
Fortunately, it's a false alarm.
The fire alarm was an interesting interlude, wasn't it? And we need to get in with her pups so that they can attach and bond to her and hopefully start feeding.
Despite her series of ordeals, Poppy seems to be pulling through.
We've got her on a heat pad because she's had a long surgery, so we want her to regain her body temperature so that she's awake and ready to start feeding puppies and looking after them.
But this new family is not out of danger yet.
Obviously, the puppies have to bond to her, they have to feed.
Come on, sweetie.
I'm trying to get these two pups that came out of the C-section to latch on
and at the moment they're being a little bit reluctant.
You know, we'll know within probably 24, 48 hours whether or not it's all going to be successful.
The SPCA has finished its inspection inside the Hoarder's house, but outside there are even more animals to check.
We've got probably about 20 guinea pigs, mixture of ages, and approximately 10 rabbits.
Vet Doug Dreyer is assessing their living conditions.
Every one of them has got clean food, fresh water.
Cool.
They're not overcrowded, they're in good condition, and the temperature in there is not overheating.
Cool. They all appear to be okay for the moment, in good condition, in clean living area. So, yeah, we're done.
Kevin will be leaving a written notice for the owner to clean up the room full of litter trays and instructions to seek vet treatment for 3 of her cats.
There's 3 cats with some eye issues. I want to make sure they're getting veterinary treatment.
After having police and 4 SPCA staff through her property, the owner is distressed.
It was really unfortunate today. It would be so much easier if you just let me through, because we actually don't have any major problems. Okay, we haven't removed anything. We're not taking anything away. I would rather work with you than against you. I'll be back in 1 week to recheck the veterinary treatment and the clean-up of the litter tray room. I'll have to be realistic on the house in a week. No one could clean that house up in a week, but I'll come back repeatedly over the next few months. I'm not just walking away and ticking it off the list. It's all okay. It needs monitoring.
The goose, rescued from Auckland Domain, has finished a course of antibiotics to cure the infection in its leg.
When this goose was found, its leg was so bad with infection that it probably would have died left out there, and I don't think it would have been too long before it had died, probably another couple of days. It's still got a little bit of scarring left, as you can see, a little bit of scabbing there, but he's healed up really well and he's really strong and fit again, so he's ready to go back out there. Being able to release him back into the wild is what makes it all worthwhile, all the long hours and all the hard work, to be able to give them a second chance.
Now the wild goose is better, he must be returned to his flock quickly.
Geese really live in family groups, so it's really important to get it back to its right family and get it settled in again.
Morning, Lynn, how are you?
Good, thanks.
It's our friendly little chap, is it?
Field Officer Brooke Kelly is escorting the goose back to the park.
When you take him back, if you can just hold on to him for a little while, he should call out to his family and his family should call back to him. You'll notice if you put him in the wrong group, because they'll all start scrapping and carrying on and he'll run off trying to find the other ones.
Okay, well, it sounds like I'm going to have some fun when I get to the domain then.
You probably will, yeah. There you go.
4 days after a traumatic delivery, the Dachshund's pups are thriving.
She's a great mum. The puppies are growing really well, they're feeding well. Oh, they're just so hungry little suckers, aren't they?
But Peter is still concerned about the mum, who SPCA staff have renamed Jem.
Initially, she just didn't want to get out of bed to eat, so she was being hand-fed, basically. She is pretty thin, so we're going to have to monitor her weight, but she is eating well now. The puppies are just doing really well. And it's probably a good thing that there are only 3, because she's so small and she has, she's not in great condition. So the fact that there are only 3 means that they'll do better and that she'll do better too. So the next step is to send her out to foster, and they'll stay at foster at least 6-8 weeks.
Jem still has a way to go before she is back to full health, but Peter has little doubt about her future.
She's such a lovely girl that I don't think she'll be up for adoption for very long. I think she'll be snapped up pretty quick.
At the domain, Brooke is trying to reunite the goose with its own flock.
I'm about to grab this little fella out, see if he's going to call to his family, and see if we can reunite him.
If he releases the goose to the wrong gaggle, it will be attacked.
Okay, so now for the interesting part, see if they're going to call back to each other. See, he's quite keen to go back to his family. It sounds like this is all good. Here we go.
And it's a match. One bewildered goose successfully reunited with its family.
So all in all, this is a pretty happy ending. Part of the job that we definitely love.
7 days after leaving a notice, Kevin is returning to the Hoarder's property. This time he's allowed straight inside to check his instructions have been carried out.
The main one, which was the veterinary treatment for the cats, that has been done. So all 3 of them have had the treatment necessary, so I'm wrapped with that. I've done an inspection on what we call the kitty litter room. It's where all the litter trays and everything are. It's absolutely filthy. It's still thick with layers of newspaper over the floor and full kitty litter trays. So yeah, not too impressed with that one. There's been no cleaning of the house whatsoever.
Kevin knows the woman wants to do the best by her animals, so he is prepared to work with her as long as he can.
I'll put an extension on things. I want it cleaned up. So I'll keep putting pressure on until I get that. She's an animal lover, and she'll do the best that she possibly can with the animals. The food that she buys, it's the best cat food money can buy. But cats are clean animals and they should live in a clean environment. And so that's where I'm trying to direct them. But yeah, it's not an easy task, but hey, it's part of the challenge of the job.
5 weeks after their birth, the Dachshund pups are thriving. Their foster mum has successfully introduced the pups to solids, and the mother Gem has started to eat again.
And they're doing really well, as you can see. Little podgies. Yeah.
Here we are. Hi, Gem.
Today, the family gets a visit from vet nurse Kirsty.
I've come to check that they're all making progress and just to have a cuddle, really. She's just looking absolutely fantastic. For feeding 3 puppies, she's looking so good. They look so much different.
Kirsty has good news for these puppies.
All these puppies have got homes already, which is fantastic.
And Liz has good news for Gem.
There you go. Gem's staying with me. She's going to live with me, yeah. I think she'll miss the babies when they go, but she'll be fine. She'll be really fine, yeah.
For an unwanted dog that then needed emergency surgery, it's an amazing outcome. And Gem will be keeping her new SPCA name.
Couldn't change her name. She's just the right little Gem. Yeah. She's well named, isn't she? Hey, little girl.